Still got a little juice left in me. I feel like doing some rucking. Let's follow these tracks. So I found some coyote tracks. It looked like they started running the deer and it went off the property. But what I did come across is this old deadfall that I set up about 6 months ago. I set this up as a demonstration, but this is worth knowing because you can set this up in any kind of weather, you know, summer or winter, and it is a food getter. If you look at it, you get the log running across on the bottom. That is called the fall pole. And right here, the little bracket and those guideposts, that guides the fall pole, and then you set your trigger system with your bait back there on that cross piece. It's a really simple trigger, and I've got a couple logs on the ends of the fall pole to increase the weight depending on your target animal. Really not hard to set this up. It took me, you know, maybe an hour or two, and that was with filming and demonstrating, and it was the first time I set it up. So definitely worth knowing. If you look around me, all the snow, it's frozen. You can hear it crunching. You saw my tent, my shelter. You know, a steel trap, it's not gonna work. You know, snares, they're a one-time use, but that can be set repeatedly over and over. And I got the information, the diagram to put that together from a free PDF that's available online. It's called Deadfalls and Snares by A.R. Harding. I highly recommend you guys pick that up and print it out for your reference, because if you need to find food, trapping is passive procurement. It doesn't take a lot of calories to do. Hunting, it's a lot of time and energy, and it's not guaranteed success. If you put out enough traps and you're in an area where there's game, and you know, it's just, that's the way to go. There's another set of tracks. These are old. Probably 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock last night. And keep moving. So I'm from Pennsylvania, and we get a lot of farmland there. So different kinds of food sources for the whitetail. And up here, it's a lot different. There's no cornfields, at least where I'm at, you know, further down the state, sure. But up here, it's all conifers and pine trees, and that's what the deer are browsing on in the winter. They just pick the little trees bare. That's why there's all those dead branches on the bottom. That's what they're eating. Here's a bed. Pretty good size. Check this out. So where he's at, he's got a pretty wide field of view. It's pretty open. You've got a couple of trees here at his back for a little protection, but he's basically got himself out in the open so you can see around him. Smell if anything's coming. The whitetails look a little bit different up here. Their coats are a little bit darker. They've almost got a black shine to them. There's another set of tracks. Right on down my trail. He's moving right along. That's a pretty good size one. It's a pretty good size. Still got a pretty narrow gate. It might Might just be a doe. Definitely a doe. You can tell by the scat. The does, they do the marbles that are all spread out. Bucks are clumped together. Haven't seen any good buck tracks yet. No. For anybody who gets excited, I'm not hunting. I'm just exercising. But yeah, as I was saying earlier, so I'm from Pennsylvania, and you know, the farmland, it's a completely different kind of hunting, and their food source here, rather than a cornfield, you know, or you know, hay field, we've got, you know, all these pine trees, and it's endless. There's 6 million acres of woods up here. So the hunting is completely different. I've been watching some guys that are, you know, local to the area that hunt up here, and they track the deer. They'll drive along till they find tracks, you know, crossing game land, and then they'll get out of their truck and, you know, get to work. They'll follow them all day for miles. They'll try and catch up to them as they're bedding and take them down there. So completely different style of hunting. The reason I'm talking about this is you need to understand your area, your resources, what's available to you. More doe. As far as the deer go, you really want to concentrate on the bucks rather than the doe. I mean, you take out a doe, you're pretty much taking 3 deer. They usually birth 2 in the spring, so that's 3 that you're removing from the population. Oh, feels good to be under the ruck. I think I've got about 60 pounds in it today, maybe a little less now that my food's gone, but yeah, feels good. Oh, what do we got here? This little bear. Huh, that's pretty cool. Just a little guy, but it's still pretty cool. And again, it's past their bedtime. You think they'd be bedded down by now. Gotta keep hanging up my food.